Hey guys, Into the End here, back with another video. Today we're going to mess around with the Stranger deck that I mentioned in my previous video. I've gotten a little bit tired of seeing the Argenport deck on the ladder because right now I think, like 75–80% of the decks you see are Argenport decks, and they're pretty much all some minor tweaked version of the one that Kamado got first place on with on ETS Weekly, I believe. And I just don't want to play the same deck as everyone else at the same time. So right now I'm just going to take a small break from that version from Argenport and do something a little bit more fun. This is going to be a casual deck. I've never built a Stranger deck before. This is my first one, and I'm pretty sure it's not the best. And it's certainly not fine-tuned. I've only played maybe a dozen games with this deck, which is very few games. Typically, I like to play at least 50 to 100 games with a deck before I am comfortable making a deck tech for it. But because this is a casual deck, and I don't think anyone's going to be really seriously making a competitive Stranger deck anyway, I figure I'll just show you my work in progress, test it together, see how it performs, and we can tweak it as we go. And then if you're interested in making a Stranger deck, you can take what I've built and tweaked over the course of this video, and you can take that as a starting point for you to continuously improve upon it. But my idea of the Stranger deck is I want to focus on 2 or 3 primary colors, so that I have a slightly more consistent mana base, and I have 2 or 3 colors that I can consistently cast spells with in an early game, so that I can have a very good curve. And then I'm going to use the power of Reunite to sort of use the other Strangers as kind of a toolbox, and tutor for whatever I need at the time. So as you can see, in the early game, I have Horus, Traver here as kind of a color fixing, which I think is very important for the Stranger deck. So my primary colors are Fire, Time, and well, my primary colors are just pretty much Fire and Time. And then in the early game, I do have the Hair Trigger Stranger, which requires Shadow. So those 3 are the earliest colors that I need. And so you can see Clever Stranger. There's not that many Strangers I have 4 of. So I have the Ruthless Stranger, I have the Hair Trigger Stranger, Determined Stranger, and then the Clever Stranger as my 4-offs in the early game. I think it's very important to have enough early game plays to have a good curve. Because right now, the format is pretty fast. There's a lot of aggressive decks out there, so you do need to kind of not die. You don't have the time to build up the critical mass. A lot of the times you're trading these units 1 for 1, and which I think is okay. And then using Reunite as a sort of a tutor effect, I can then fetch a lot of the 1-offs that can be very good in this deck, like Soaring Stranger. Usually if you play this, you can go in for an Alpha Strike and kill off the opponent. 1 copy of Battle Tested Stranger, the Lifesteal one, the Deadly one, and then the Double Damage one, and the Aegis one, and +3/+3. So these are all 1-offs. I don't think they're all absolutely necessary, but they're very good in the late game when you have abundance of power and you can tutor for whatever you like. The Aegis Stranger is actually surprisingly good, because unlike cards like Stand Together, as long as this Stranger is in play, all of your new Strangers who enter play also has Aegis, which is really, really nice. And Clever Stranger is really good in this deck. We run 34 units, all of which are Strangers, so your chance of hitting with Warp is very high. It's like 50-50. So you either hit a Stranger or a land. So it's actually one of the sort of unsung heroes of this deck. And as you see, when your opponents play against you using the Stranger deck, the more must-kill Strangers, the better you are off. And between the Triumphant Stranger and the Clever Stranger, you have 8 Strangers that provides you with a ton of card advantage. And one of the best ways to deal with Stranger, of course, is with Harsh Rule, some kind of board wiping effect. And if you have 8 units that they have to wipe away, it's actually really hard for them to to do that, I've played against Chalice before, and they can harsh roll 2 or 3 times, and as long as you still have either a Clever Stranger or a Triumphant Stranger in your deck or on top of your library, you're actually able to claw back from that, which is pretty remarkable. The mana base is kind of weird, I guess. I have 4 copy. I have all banners and no seats because of the sheer number of units that we run. Only 3 banners that I have 4 copies of are the 3 main colors, and then just 1 copy of pretty much all of the other banners, and then 1 copy of each of the sigils, so that I can use Seek Powers to find whatever piece I'm missing. I have actually never been mana screwed or color screwed in this deck, so I think the color base, for whatever reason, is working okay. I haven't fine-tuned it. It just happens this is my first version, and it's working out pretty decently. So I'm just going to keep it the way it is until I find a reason to change it. But, oh yeah, and I do have 4 Slay as my only removal spell, which I think is, oh wait, no. 4 Slay and 4 Torch as my only removal spells. The Torch is absolutely necessary for the early game, otherwise you are just complete dog to anything aggressive. Stone Scar, Sky Crag, Argenport, 100% dead if you don't have some kind of early game interaction. So this is critically important, and then Slay is very important for dealing with very, very powerful and problematic creatures in the mid to late game. So let's jump into a game. I'm just going to keep this short, one video. We're probably going to play only 3 or 4 games at the very most. So I mean, this is a casual deck. I don't want to spend too much time on it. and I think for most of you guys, I hope this is just going to be for entertainment value, rather than enticing some of you to actually make the Stranger deck, which I guarantee you is not very good at the moment. I thought that the Triumphant Stranger would make the Stranger deck very, very good, but the problem I found with the Triumphant Stranger is that it's very, very easy to kill, and it takes a long time for the effects to kick in. So I thought it would be very good, powerful card advantage, but in reality he just dies. And also the fact that you play it and he doesn't do anything until your following turn is a huge problem. Alright, so this hand is extremely mediocre, but we do have 4 lands. And in fact, I think this is all our colors, right? Yeah, so we will keep this just because we have a pretty good land here, and we do have a 1/2/3 drop, but none of these cards are going to win us the game. We do need to draw into one of the critical units, which is either the Warp Stranger, the Clever Stranger, I think it's called, or the Triumphant Stranger. Those are our best draws. Okay, so let's just go ahead and play this Stranger, play this, and I believe we only need 1 of every color, so at this point it doesn't matter at all. So just a random power is fine. Yeah, see, when your opponent is using his Torch on units like this, then you're in good shape. Oh, ouch, 3/2. Because, oh no, I'm drawing a lot of lands. I think I'm just gonna do this and attack him, because I'm certainly not blocking. The only drawback here is if he plays a Champion of Fury, which then attacks me. But if he attacks me with the Champion of Fury, I'm actually thinking of just blocking with the Determined Stranger. Because against this deck, I am definitely the one on the defensive. So trading the Determined Stranger for a champion would be perfectly fine. Oh wow, this is not the deck that I'm thinking of. Okay, we've drawn 7 lands. That's not good. I should have attacked with my Determined Stranger, I think, because so if I triple block, he can torch the Determined Stranger, and then he'll quick strike down the Combrei Stranger, and this becomes a 1/1, and he survives. So he can 3-for-1 me if I block. So I'm not going to block. Drawing 7 power is very unusual. I actually never seen this happen when the last 10 times or so I played this deck. Not very many, I admit. But this is a pretty good draw. Making them flying means he doesn't have an attack in the air anymore. I'm perfectly happy trading my Determined Stranger with one of his 3/3s though. But if he Rock Slides me right now, he can kill both of these. Or if he Torch, he can kill this because of the +1 damage from these snakes or Harriers. Okay, or he just kills the flying one. So instant for 6. Yep. That's also perfectly fine as well. Okay, so we're pretty much dead. We drew way too many lands, and we didn't draw any of the very important strangers, or not even a Reunite to let us fetch for something better. And we didn't attack him because actually we didn't attack him because it was a mistake. We should have attacked him. Okay, that's game. That draw was very much subpar. Let's try that again. Of the games that I've played, I feel like that... Well, of the games that I've played, there's a couple of times where I got stuck on 2 lands, but other than that, that was possibly one of the worst draws I've had with the deck. This hand is slightly better. We have a turn 2 play, and then we have a turn 5 play. We're missing 2... Wait, yeah, we're missing 2 colors. We're missing red and we're missing blue. So this can only get us 1. And because I don't know which one I want, I can either wait longer to make sure I get the... I can wait a couple of turns to make sure that I seek power for the right color, or I can actually just go ahead and seek power for the red next turn, because I'm going to want to cast the Hair Trigger Stranger on turn 3. Oh, there we go. Problem solved. It doesn't matter anymore. In this case... Oh, yeah, that was a mistake. But anyway. This is fine. Yeah, so next turn we play the Fire Sigil and play the Hair Trigger Stranger, and then... Oh, perfect. I can even play 2 spells. And then 2 more turns, we have 2 Triumphant Strangers, so unless he has 2 removal spells saved up, or if he's very, very aggressive, we'll be in good shape. And Zenin typically is not a very aggressive color combination, and he's stuck on lands, so he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, I'm in a lot of trouble. Oops, that was a mistake. I should have attacked with only the 3-2. If I had thought about it some more, or had a little bit more experience with the deck, maybe I could have anticipated the Iron there. So that was purely a play error from my side, throwing away a pretty decent stranger here. Apologize for the baby crying. That's my son downstairs. My mother's over to help me out today, so she's taking care of him. And this is why I have the time to make some videos. Alright, let's hope he doesn't have any removal spells. And then he'll be and then we'll be in very good shape. But seeing how he's got Shadow though, I suspect he does have removal spell. But it has to be a death strike, because Annihilate won't do it, and neither will the Banish. So that's too bad. We're still going to play this out. We're just going to hope to overload his removal. And if he attacks, I'm actually thinking of chump blocking. No, I'm not going to block. I should have attacked him. Okay, we're going to take the 6 and go to 8. And really hope whatever I get will keep me alive here. Oh, the Battle Tested Stranger is a very good draw. Oh my, that is an incredibly good draw. Now my opponent is in a lot of trouble. I just went from like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 power on board to 34 power. 30, wait, what? Oh no. Oh, that's fine. Oh crap, that's not good, because now I only have 2 blockers. I could die to his counter attack. I can only block 2 units. I would take 3 going down to 3. And if he has any removal spell, then I die. That was maybe too optimistic of me to attack with. Yeah, that was maybe a little too optimistic of me to attack. Ha, Power Stones. That's how they screw you over. Drawing a Power Stone now is way worse than just drawing a power. Yeah, Power Stones ramp you, but I have some reservations about how good this card is in anything but a slow control deck. Especially because like so far what he played is he played 2 drops. So you don't want to play the Power Stone if you're gonna play 2 drops, right? And the Power Stone ramps you from 2 mana to 4 mana the following turn. but he's also got a 3-drop sitting here. So really, oh, hey, is my opponent dead? I think he's dead, right? So he blocks 1 and he takes. Oh no, he's not dead. He's not dead. He's not dead. But he's pretty close. So he had no removal last turn. I don't think he'll have a removal this turn. But let's not risk it. Let's just attack with 2. Because this way, even if he has a removal spell, I still have 3 blockers. And there's no way he can kill me through 3 blockers. Look at this board. Oh, that's actually pretty fun. It does make me a little giddy. Oh, okay. Yeah, he does have a removal spell, which is fine. Oh, jeez. Is it fine? He can hit me for 1, so he needs a way to pump it, but in these colors, there really isn't anything. On the crackback, he's definitely gonna die because he has 2 instigators in play. So even if he blocks everything I attack with, he's still gonna die. It's not gonna help you. Yeah, but nothing he can do mattered at this point, I think. He is going to lose. Double damage! Oh, jeez. I want to see how negative his life goes. I don't want to do the math right now in my own head. Negative 106 damage. Oh, that's great. I do find that the Triumphant Stranger often plays a Stranger that has a special ability. It's kind of rare. In fact, I'm not sure if I've ever seen the Triumphant Stranger play one of those random 2/2s that don't do anything, but gives you some kind of influence. Wonder, maybe I should read the card more carefully. Maybe it doesn't make those. Okay. Yeah, so because of the Horus Traver, we do have every cut. No, we're missing red and blue just like we are last time. I will keep this hand. We'll have a turn 2 play, a turn 3 play, and like a turn 4 play. So, 2, 3, 4, not too bad. My opponent doesn't have a fast deck, so that's great. We'll start with the Zenon Banner here, with the expectation that we'll play Horus next turn and make a red, and then we'll be able to play pretty much everything minus the blue. Okay, so let's get a fire. And let's play this one, giving us green. No, I'm not really happy to see the Clever Stranger here. I need a land. I need to hit my 4th land drop at the very minimum. That's not the greatest. So let's play this. Let's play. Wait, does this give me blue? No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's just attack for 4. So we're actually pretty aggressive here. Which is the intention. When I played these 3 cards, I mean, I chose for these 3 to be my earliest game plays because I was hoping something like this could happen. Too bad we can never attack through this Titan. So we're gonna be taking a beating from the Sandstorm for a little while. We really needed to hit the land drop. If we had to hit the land drop, a Clever Stranger could help a lot. Not only are you going to be able to warp in cards on top of your library, it also increases your chance of drawing lands because you're playing the non-lands, right? So it really helps you hit your land drops going forward. I think at this point we are going to lose because we missed a land drop two turns in a row, and I think that's too much against 2 Sandstorm Titans. I'm actually really surprised my opponent didn't attack me last turn. I will double block 1. Oh, crap. He should be killing the Ruthless Stranger, I think. Nope, that's a mistake. Still not gonna block. He should have definitely killed the Ruthless Stranger. He doesn't care about my quick draw when I'm not attacking him anyway. Yeah, so now I can double block. Oh no, he's got a Heart of the Vault, doesn't he? Okay, go. Yeah, so now I'm dead because... Actually, let's kill the 6/6. He's actually 1 land away from being able to ultimate Diogo, and I'm still stuck on 4 power here. I do have a decent amount of power sources, but maybe not quite as many as I should. But that is game. I have 29 power sources, and really I just want to hit 4 mana. Well, I guess 5 is ideal, but I think 29 mana sources to hit 4 or 5 mana in a timely fashion is not too much to ask for. I don't think I should put in any more than that. Okay, so this is fine. We are just going to go ahead and play this. So we have green, green, red. Okay, so we're missing blues here. So we're only missing shadow. Yeah, this is pretty good. Good curve. I could turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, wait 1 turn, and then I can have a Triumphant Stranger in play. The only problem with this hand is that none of my turn 1, 2, 3 plays are any good. So if my opponent has any removal spells, he would definitely not use it and save it, and he'll have his removal ready when I play the Triumphant Stranger. That's the only problem with this hand. I have a torch. I'm going to use it. I think the Rakano Outlaw is a little too good to not kill. The Warcry trigger does stack up. If that was like a Ronin or a Pyro Knight, I definitely wouldn't have used this. Okay, that's fine. Alright, now we just have to draw a land. My opponent's Rakano deck my opponent's Stone Scar deck is very slow here. This is looking like a mid-range one. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just go ahead and kill it. I don't really want to deal with that unit. If I draw a land, I would like to play this Triumphant Stranger this turn. And I draw a card that I cannot play. How unfortunate. There's... How many cards in this deck can I not play? I have like, what, 3 6-drops, maybe? And 1 7-drop, and then 3 more. So there's 6 cards in my entire deck that I cannot play. Everything else I can draw. Everything else I can play. So let's see how lucky or unlucky we get. So my opponent's stuck on 3 lands. I'm stuck on 4. My opponent's got a very slow start, which is very fortunate for us, but we're not doing anything. I am glad he used his favor and his torch. Because if I have no board, the Triumphant Stranger will die to a Varus favor. Okay, so I really need to draw something now. That's unfortunate. We will trade with his Champion of Chaos. This card does way too much damage in the long run if I let it. So he's got a trick. I'm taking 8, 11 damage, 12 damage. I'm going down to 9. What appeared to be a very good start has turned out to be a very poor mid-game. Oh, jeez. Why didn't you do that first? I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we are 100% dead. Alright, so why don't we go back there and add some lands to our deck? Because this is clearly... the issue with the deck so far is that the land drops is killing us. But rather than adding lands, I'm actually thinking of adding some Amber Acolytes. So we'll remove these 2 mana strangers. That means we have fewer things to do in turn 2, but more to do on turn 3 and onward. Okay, so we played 3 games. We're 1 and 2. We've just tweaked the deck to add basically 4 more power sources to the deck. Hopefully that will help us with our mana screw. Yeah, I feel like in the last game, even had we drawn the 5th land, we'd probably still lose because our early plays were just too weak. And the Triumphant Stranger alone won't be enough against a deck that has a ton of removal spells. Okay, so we need to draw a land to be able to play the Acolyte, but once we do, we're okay. So we need to make time with the Horus Traver, and then we're missing green. I think this is doable. This is playable. Okay, now we have all the colors that we need. So on the following turn, I will play Traver for time, and then I'll seek power for green, and then we have all the power. Actually, now that we've drawn a Ruthless Stranger, do I want to play the Stranger? No. I definitely want to play this so I can have Amber Acolyte up next turn. And then on the following turn, I can play the Clever Stranger, which is perfect. Oh. Well, in this case, because I have the land, let's just hack him. This board is incredibly weak to a Crystallize, though. Crystallize would just destroy me. Actually, my deck doesn't have an out to Crystallize. I don't even have the endurance providing Stranger. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. If he attacks with the Dawnwalker, I might trade it off with the Traver here. But if he attacks me, oh dear. That's a very difficult combo to beat. Yep. I'm just hoping that I can reunite for a Triumphant Stranger and that he wouldn't be able to deal with it. That's my only hope. Oh, there it is. Perfect. I can reunite for perhaps the Aegis granting. Oh, no. He has a killer Dawnwalker in his yard. Oh, that's painful. I don't know how to deal with that. Yeah, because he can just killer down the Triumphant Stranger. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, jeez. That is rough. I guess at this point I have 6 power. Maybe I actually grab the Deadly Stranger so he doesn't get any value. But he has 1 card left in his hand. If I get the Triumphant Stranger, I have now 2 Triumphant Strangers in my hand. Let's try that out. Let's try that out. He can... What? Oh, of course, this Stranger is very good, so it makes perfect sense for him to kill it. Oh no, another one. Wait, why are they so large? Oh, he played the Ageless Mentor. Oh no, it's back again. Oh, I can't beat this. Oh, I can't beat that Dawnwalker. That's brutal. Okay, we didn't get mana screwed. Our draw was pretty decent. Our game plan was just weaker than our opponent. He played better cards than we did. Those 7-8. He played so many Sandstorm Titans, and of course the killer Dawnwalker was just too much. I had a couple of turns to let the Triumphant Stranger sorry. If I had a few turns with an active Triumphant Stranger, I think that would have been okay, but as it is, not good enough. Okay, this hand is not that bad. I mean, I'm really just praying that my opponent is playing a removal light deck, but I don't think it's possible right now because everybody's running Argenport and everybody is loading up on removal to kill Traver, the Auric Broker. So I think a lot of decks that are in ladder right now, especially people who are in Masters, I believe their deck should be full of removal spells. I'm missing blue, but I have everything else, right? Yep. So I just go turn 1, Traver for a blue, and then we're set. We even have 4 power sources in our hand, and an early game interaction. I think this is alright. So... Okay, so let's get a blue. So these colors tell me it's either Armory... Very few people are playing Rakano. I'm actually more inclined to think this is Armory. I haven't ran into a Rakano a mid-range deck or aggro deck for a very long time. Yep, it's Armory as expected. Okay, so what do I play? I play this so I can have Torch up if I need it, and I'll just grab a 5th land of pretty much any kind, it doesn't really matter. Okay. 2 more turns for the Clever Stranger, which he must kill, so it'll draw his first removal spell, either be a Torch or a Hammer. And then we can play the Triumphant Stranger. It's actually really annoying if I play turn 4 a Clever Stranger and he hammers it, because on the following turn, I have to torch his hammer first, so I can't play the Stranger if that's the case. Oh, Copperhall Bailiff, okay. And he discarded it, so clearly he doesn't think he needs it. Having 2 Torch is quite good. Torch is very good against this deck. Do I care at all that he has this in play? Let's not give him the free Warcry trigger, I suppose. Okay, now we need to draw a land. We haven't drawn a land since our opening hand, and over the last 5 turns, we have not drawn a land. 4 turns. Okay, yeah, that's expected. The super annoying thing is he made this a 0/1, so I can't even attack it to kill it. Otherwise, I could play the Stranger this turn. That is some next level annoyance. That Copperhall Bailiff just this is a minor thing. Yeah, because I should have a Triumphant Stranger in play right now if this was a 1/1. What a interesting turn of I just yeah, sometimes the smallest things in this game makes a really big difference. 7 power. Oh no. We overexposed ourselves, I think. But yeah. Couldn't just sit around and do nothing. Oh no, it's getting torched. We're so dead. We just yeah, okay. If I have the Clever Stranger in play, maybe next time I should just not overextend and put the Triumphant Stranger in play as well, and just rely on the Clever Stranger to get me the card advantage that I need. Oh no, this is bad. I've drawn 8 lands. My opponent's also drawn 8 lands and a handful of apparently useless spells. Maybe they're Vanquishes? They're certainly... I mean, he has enough power to play anything in his deck. And if he's not playing it, then it's either going to be like a bunch of Harsh Rules or dead cards like Vanquish. So if he Harsh Rules now, then... Yep. Alright. Continuously getting destroyed. But I don't feel like it was a mistake to play another Stranger, because I can't just attack him with a 3/3 every turn, because eventually he's going to draw one of his very good spells, and then he's going to beat me. Like, what if he draws a Smuggler Stash? What if he draws a Carrier, right? So I can't... And my deck is not a late game control deck, so I can't just sit there and attack him with a 3/3 every turn and hope to win off of the back of that. Okay. My opponent is just as mana flooded as I am. Oh no, he draws the first relevant card. And I do not. So now I think the game is over. Okay. Whatever weapon that is going to be doing a lot of damage to me. If it's a hammer, it'll be doing 9 damage. No, 11 damage because he played 2 Rakano Artisans. No, 1. 10 damage if that was a hammer. But if it was like a die show, then I'm just dead. So a handful of cantrips. Huh. He decided not. My opponent is just as mana flood as I am, though, so I can't complain about that. It just his cards are more powerful. His cards are individually more powerful, and my cards require a lot of other cards. So in a mana flooding situation in a top deck mode, his is significantly better than mine because there are single cards that he can top deck, like this one, that takes over the game. Whereas for me, there is no single unit or card that I can draw that takes over the game for me. That is an inherent difference. That is an inherent weakness of these kind of synergy-focused decks. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll call it quits. I don't have any better ideas on how to tweak this deck yet, but usually there is people with really good suggestions in the comments though, so I'm actually looking forward to your comments and your suggestions. This is a good hand. This is a really good hand. Wow, this is a great hand. Alright. Turn 1 we'll play the Stone Scar banner instead, in case we draw a hair trigger stranger, but obviously we don't because we have this on top of our library. Okay, so we'll play this stranger, and I think we will torch that. I think that does a little too much on turn 1. If that was on turn 4 or 5, maybe not. I think the foil version of Initiates look amazing. Like, the art is very good. Her glowing blue eyes, along with the it looks wicked. Anyway, let's offer the trade. I don't think he'll trade. It's just gonna be 2 free damage. Okay, and we have all the colors. Perfect. So the clever stranger hopefully will draw us into some units, some gas, and my opponent might be mana screwed because I don't suspect that he plays a monocolored deck. Yeah, and he played 2 monuments, which tells me that he's mana screwed. We don't need the green yet. Let's just play that on top of a library. Oh, so many good warp cards. So he's gonna attack us, and we might actually just block with a Ruthless Stranger. So nah, let's just attack him. We'll trade damage. We'll take 4. Oh wow, he's blocking. Okay. I wonder what would... I guess he has no 5 power... Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he block? I mean, sure, but wouldn't you rather attack me and trade damage if you have a Sandstorm Titan in play? Oh jeez, this is just amazing. Alright. So this game, we might win. Unless he plays a Zen Initiation on it now, in which case, most unfortunate for us. But because we have the Clever Stranger in play, I do feel confident. Oh no, this thing is so hard to beat. I do feel like we could potentially draw into more. Yep, taking 5. Come on, deck. This is probably a land because there's literally no other cards in my deck that's not land or stranger. There's just Seek Power, which is a land, and Slay, which is pretty good. Okay, so now what do we do? I can double strike everything and just smash. Oh, if I double strike everything and then quick strike next turn? No. Let's do it this way. Oops, I should have not played the stranger because I could have been able to warp something in. Yeah, next turn we play the double strike stranger and smash him. Because once they have double strike and quick strike, he can't block any of it. Aha, not big enough to bring this back. Yes! That's pretty lucky on our side. So it's an Elysian deck. Next turn, if he draws another blue, he can crystallize me and I'm pretty much dead at that point. Oh, that's perfectly fine. No. Now that I have this in my hand, I'm definitely not going to trade you 2 units for 1. That's not important. I think this is important. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a race. I was told that when you play cards like this one, no, I'll take 9. I was told that, like, with cards like this, you can potentially remove a sigil on top of your deck and show the second card, which you can then warp in. But I don't really know, because I haven't tried. So if I attack with everything, he has 4 blockers. He has to block or he dies. No. He can block. He can chump 1, 2, and 3, take 6, and he doesn't die. And he has 2 attackers, but I can have 2 more blockers. Yeah, that's fine. I do lose to Crystallize, though. I actually don't remember if Crystallize requires 2 blue, because that's a Crystallize in his hand and I die next turn. Oh no, he must block with the Initiates of the Sands, which means that he needs to draw a land and have to Crystallize in his hand, and it has to be a non-depleted land. So I think my odds are really good. Even if he has a big creature, this will come back exhausted. So I think I win this game. Bearing something very strange, I think I win this game. Oh wait, this thing has Overwhelm. Oh, kind of dicey at this point, eh? That was an Obelisk? Huh, very dicey actually. Okay, so I take 2 and go to... Is that enough? I take 3, go to 2? Alright. Well, that's it. Sweet. Alright, we're 2 and 3. Not as bad as 1 and 4. Alright, I think that's it for now. I think you've seen enough games to get an idea of how this deck runs. It's really fun to play. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's really fun to play. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, give me a like. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. I have a lot of videos in my YouTube channel, and with some competitive decks and also some casual decks as well. Thanks for watching.